Good morning.
Good morning.
Here we
You
are.
changed your position to your podcast studio.
Yes.
Great.
Yes, it's true. Now I'm sitting on the floor, and that's a lot better than sitting on a chair like last week.
Yeah, it's always literally this grounding.
Yes, it feels very different.
Yeah, instead of hovering above the ground.
Yes.
Well, I I really want to speak my gratitude to a lot of people that actually listened to our first podcast.
Yes.
So thank you very much, people, and thank you so much for the feedback.
Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah,
From the first moment, I think people responded, and we got so many grateful feedback, but also feedback that we can use to keep upgrading the
exactly.
podcast because
Yeah.
we never did this before.
No, and a very practical one. We just discussed it just before we hit the record button.
Yes.
People say you have to help me out a bit. We need an intro or something.
Yes. Apparently, a lot of podcasts have an intro that is always the same every week. So with some music and saying that who we are, our names, and that this is the podcast name, the Weavers, because magic works, and then music, and then from that we start, and probably also something in the end. We finish with the two questions that we decided last week.
Hmm.
But also, I don't know, intro if it's an outro, if that's a word, but something to finish.
Ah,
But we don't really know how to do that, right?
no. So
No.
if someone is out there, like really knowing how to do this stuff, help us out.
Yeah.
Reach out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be great.
And in the meantime, well, we just started, and maybe we can a little. Let's make a little sound, like they say it's the first sound of the universe. So here we go. We breathe out first, like then we breathe in. Here we go. Oh,
Oh. Oh.
and then we are who we are. So
We
this
start.
is this is Anna Marie, aka Golden Dragon. And you're broadcasting at this moment because you travel the world. I know. Spoiler
Uh,
alert: she will be in Paris. Where are you now?
and Gran Canaria.
Gran Canaria.
See, magical islands.
Beautiful.
Yes. And you are Lars,
Yeah,
aka the Crystal Dragon. And you are?
I am on the northern part of Sardinia in Tempio Pausania, and this is one big granite mountain. And the granite has more than 5 crystals, and crystal is guiding energy. And yeah, the place where I am is, we called it Farfalla Viola, which is purple butterfly. And it's having this incredible magical energy. And that's where I'm broadcasting from in our yoga ballroom, where we
Yes.
do a lot of energy stuff and a weekly meditation. We started 2 weeks ago.
Ah, yes, an online one.
Yep.
You mean?
No,
Yes.
no, no, a real one. A real one. Here on premises in this room.
Ah, yes, on Thursdays. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And Tuesdays is the weekly call that you have
Exactly. Yeah.
for everybody free to enter.
To join if you know someone who's introducing you to the goal. That's the
Yes.
only possibility to get in.
Yes, of course. But
That's a kind
people
of
listen.
secret magical.
Ooh, secret. Secrets are magical. Ooh la la.
Yeah.
So you say something interesting, by the way, about crystals. You say they carry energy, and energy contains also lots of information, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Crystals are very, very strange. If you ask scientists, they cannot prove it's solid and they cannot prove it's liquid. And they really don't understand the vibration because the frequency of a crystal is like not possible. And
Not
in my
possible.
world,
Yeah.
it's a
Yes.
living thing. And in my world, we are these crystal beings. But that's
Yes.
what my crystal dragon is telling me. So that's maybe the
Yes.
thing. Yeah. But we also got like some questions about these dragons.
Yes.
Are we going to answer that? That's my question. Because the question was, I don't understand the dragons. Please
Yes.
explain the dragons. But can we explain dragons?
Eh, I think it's difficult because explaining and understanding is a question from here. And as we talked about the last podcast, the magic can only be felt and experienced.
Mm.
So what we can say is that well, most people think, or let's say we are programmed that dragons were imaginary creatures from the fairy tale books or from I don't know what movies, that they never truly existed. What we can say about that is that they did truly exist, and they still do.
Well, I think a lot of people freak out on the last sentence that they do exist. So what brings up these words in my mind or system
Hmm.
is the portal, the gate, the other realms. Uh, well, maybe just dive into it in the beginning of this whole conversation. Because magic can only flow, and those are my words, the way I do life, can only flow if you open up yourself and have
Hmm.
the guts to step through portals into other worlds. And if you say dragons really exist, there's also the discussion that we need to have about other worlds. Because as a child, I learned that all these different worlds that I saw, who
Hmm.
felt really real, they were imaginary. And dreams are not true, and imagination is just fantasy, and get on with your real life. And
Yes.
I was always confused by that. I was always confused by that because it's still like that, that the other worlds for me are more real than this one. I really don't understand the world where we are in with a lot of other people. But that's maybe a whole other different topic. But
And
yeah, there is a world, and then you can just visit the dragons. I even have clients, and without any medicine plans or substances or going into a trip, just
Mhm.
into meditation, really going to the inside world and opening a gate, they meet their dragon.
Yes.
So when you say they really existed, how do you put that into the perspective of portals and different realms?
Um, it's the way we are programmed, the dragons are, like in the comic books or in the movies, is that you would see them literally fly around in a physical form here above the ocean, for example. Well, that maybe happens, but we don't see it. So, not with these eyes. So, when I mean that they're really there, is that they are here in another form, in maybe what we have a visible world and an invisible world. It is all coming to what senses you used to see. Um, and there they exist with a lot of other different worlds and beings and creatures. And also, dragons are the keepers of wisdom, ancient wisdom that in sometimes was not allowed because in the history of this planet there a lot of things happened, with things being allowed or not allowed, or people being burned, or for
It's
things.
not even a long time ago.
No, no. So the dragons also kind of changed shape, probably changed form, because otherwise, well, they would be killed all the time. So you can find them, but not with the mind. You can find them in what maybe in dreams, because I think you told me once, you asked me something nice, like, are you awake when you're dreaming, or are you dreaming when you're awake? Or are you sleeping?
Are
Huh?
you asleep
Yeah,
when
when
you're
you are,
sleeping, or are you asleep when you're awake? Are
yeah,
you awake when you're sleeping, or are you
yes,
sleeping when you're awake? Yeah.
yes.
So what's your
Yeah.
answer?
So, my answer is that their wisdom and their spirit, their being is also around us, because energy never dies. So also they don't, and you can find them when you kind of surrender
Mm,
from the mind,
hmm.
because the mind cannot understand, and when you flow and when you start following, completely feeling, and also the signals inside there, and then you find portals and gates, as we call them, um, and you can go in another world and there find the dragons,
What's the
for example.
difficulty about stepping into another world through the gate instead of honoring the gate? What's the difficulty?
What's the difficult of stepping into?
Stepping through the gate instead of
Ah,
honoring the gate.
oh, yes. Oh, I had so much practice in that. I have many flashbacks when you ask this. Oh, it's difficult to do it alone. It's impossible to do it alone, because then you keep walking in front of it and you say, "Oh, wow, beautiful, this gate, beautiful, ciao." No, we're also programmed to think it's scary, so it's difficult to go through alone. That's a very simple answer. And when you can go together, it's not scary.
Yeah,
There's only
and out of our experiences and my experience, the most scary thing is you really have to die. And we had this beautiful conversation in the little community that we have here right now yesterday evening about dying.
Mhm.
And I heard this beautiful story about someone who said, yeah, I was in this deep depression. I was in this awful circumstances, and I lost a lot of things. I lost my husband. I lost my house. I lost
Mhm.
my job, my place, my everything. And and she got into this, and I've been there also, and I really resonate with that in this period of, yeah, even Googling what's the best way to kill myself. And it was so beautiful what she said yesterday evening. She said, I recognized that a part of me wanted to die.
Mhm.
And I did it also myself on the boat. She did it in another way. Like, I did a lot of solo sailing, and that's kind of, you can call it dangerous, because the possibility to die is like really there. When
Yes.
you're on the sea on your own in a boat, wind and water is much stronger than we are.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe we are wind and water, but that's another topic. And then I had the choice to recognize this part of myself that wanted to die, and I helped it dying. And yeah, that's magic,
Mhm.
because you I really found a way to allow only this part of me to die.
Yes. Yes.
And then you give it back to where it wants to go. You leave everything that's withholding you to go forward behind you. You really detach. And that's also my explanation, maybe already immediately a deep one. Um, it's kind of needed to go through a gate.
Yes.
You can be in front of this gate, like, wow, beautiful. And the people in India, they make these beautiful portals,
Yes.
gates with all these monsters on it. And you can really be mesmerized by the monsters. And it's just to help you out, that the part that you have to leave behind, that has to die, it's the same thing,
Yes.
goes to where it wants to go, and you move through. You take another station on your trip.
Yes. And in the end, it brings so much new space and so much relief. And I have many, things crossing now my mind. I don't know if we said it in the other podcast, but it's like, the snake that loses the skin. If it doesn't lose the skin, the snake dies. But
Exactly.
also, when she loses her skin, also that skin dies.
Yeah.
So it's all connected.
Yeah, I
And
love that you bring in like the totem animals of the Amazon. She's living in the south, by the way, of the
yeah,
medicine wheel, because it's also the lesson that I got from my power animal, the butterfly. Like does the caterpillar know that he's dying, or or
no.
or does he know that does he think he's dying, or does he think he becomes a butterfly? What do you think?
Well, maybe with a caterpillar doesn't think at all, which would be.
I would love to be there. How do I
Ah,
get a caterpillar?
yeah, exactly. I kind of imagine that he just has the faith that the process he is in is will be good for him or
I,
her.
I don't agree because I really dove into it. This this
Okay.
cute guy becomes liquid.
The caterpillar becomes liquid.
Yeah, to transform. So
It's a part
yeah,
of dying.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's scary, but because also I have some experiences. It's scary when you want to fight it,
Mm,
because your mind thinks, no, 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 we can't die. But somehow, okay, what I experienced, for example, I was in going on a hiking trip in Macedonia and Kosovo in May this year. The idea was that it was good weather and snow was gone and everything. Well,
like a
long story.
cruising hike, like really gentle, having a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, challenging stages, 20 kilometer a day, but on the normal trails, and it would be possible. But somehow, in the end of May, there was a lot of snow above 2,000 meters. So I was with a friend, and long story short, we got lost. We came into a snowstorm. GPX didn't work anymore. It was a late in afternoon. We were stuck because of the snow. Then we could not follow the trail. We could never go back because it was already 8 hours of walking. So in the end, we hit the emergency button from the InReach device that she had, but the communication was not working. And so I think around 6, we thought we need to do something. And then we walked down the mountain, no trails. I also crashed in the snow, so my knee was quite bad and hurt a lot. And then in some moment I saw a tree, something in somewhere in the valley. It was very weird. It was in the middle of nowhere, and there was a tree with some kind of portal.
Mm,
And yeah, so we went there. And then I remember very well because I died there for sure. A big part of me died. I was laying there on the in the middle of the night on the ground. It was raining only because we were walking from hut to hut. We didn't have a tent or something. We had rain suits and some food and stuff like that. Even emergency blankets, but not a tent. So I was laying there, and it was so peaceful. And it was not that I gave up on life and thought, okay, let's die, because we had no idea what was going to happen. But I was there, and I was in complete surrender, and it was beautiful.
mm.
And it sounds so weird because it isn't, you can't understand. And there were even bears and a lot of, animals possible that could visit us. Um,
And
but I
eat
was,
you alive, so you
uh,
would die.
yeah, then my body would probably die. Yes, but it was such a magical moment, and there was no time, there was no distance, there was only one pure state of being. And in that moment, and maybe I even understood later, because in that moment I wasn't even thinking, but a lot of me died. All the things you need to control, to hold on to understand, to manage. We had no idea what was going to happen if we would be there. Well, the night it was we were hypothermic. I was shaking all the time. So, but still, it was so peaceful. And well, in the end, we were found by a rescue team, and then we needed to walk all the way down the mountains, and it became a very long story. But this moment was so pure and so intense that I really felt that dying, parts of me dying in the moment, like this snake losing the skin,
Hmm.
was incredibly beautiful.
That's really a beautiful story, and I'm sure that when people listen to it, they will say that must have been an awful experience. You had bad luck. Things went really wrong.
Yes.
So, what's your view on that?
Well, I got that those kind of comments a lot afterwards, of course, because yeah, people were worried, phone dead, no signal. So, um, but it was nothing like that. It was not wrong. It was not bad. It was not scary because first of all, those labels are a choice if you
Mhm.
want to put labels like this. And second of all, I think there have not been many more moments I felt so pure, calm, and one with all, one with the earth,
Mm.
one with the sky, one with the animals around, one with everything. So it was just beautiful.
Well, it brings me to the work that I know you did and I did. So let's find out how. Maybe people are questioning, like, okay, for a lot of people, it would be like an awful experience.
Mhm.
You get a trauma of it. You live in dark times for 10 years, and then you find someone like a psychiatrist, and you do some regression therapy, and then you release this trauma, and then you can go on with your life. But you tell this magical, strange, weird story about feeling oneness, light, letting things go, stepping through a gate, a portal near a tree, all these magical words.
Mhm.
Uh, I've got the same experiences. And if I travel back to like, if someone asked questions, how did you train yourself to put this new way of looking at it inside of
Yes.
your system? My basic stepstones, which I still use every day, is that I train myself, and yeah, I fall off the track a lot of times, but I'm training it every time. Is to don't make things personal, like like talking about your situation. Why is it raining when I have this trail? Why is this happening to me? And
Mhm.
so that's the first step. Like don't take it personal. And I trained it a lot. And I trained it by observing my thoughts and my words. And every thought with me and I just observed without getting without following up the trigger, or when I'm saying something about me or I.
Mhm.
It, yeah, that was really like my wife, my children, my car. Like it's okay when there is a scratch. Like for all the guys listening to this, you bought this beautiful new car. It's your car. It's my car. And then somebody scratches it. That's
Mm.
really a big problem, right? But it's only a problem when it's my car,
Ah, yes.
or a car of one of my friends, or a car of my mom. Yeah. So how did you do that? Because there are two other steps, but let's dive into making it, trying not
Well,
to make it personal.
yes. Well, um, t- one thing to add is what we also talked about the last time is not choosing the role for a victim or
Mm.
to, you know. or to be a rescuer,
Mm.
because I could also have been thinking, oh, I'm the victim. Why am I here in the middle of nowhere in Kosovo on 2,000 meters?
Yeah, you got all the right to say that.
Yeah, but it never even occurred.
Mm.
So that is part of not taking it personal. And the second also is observing, a lot of trial
Mm.
and error. Because a lot of time also, it is people hit some button and boom, I take it personal. But the more you practice,
Give me an example of this button.
mostly people are that are really close to you,
Mm-hmm.
family. I don't think even into how you say by intuition. They know how it works because they know you since the day you were born, mostly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just yeah, saying some words or why you don't do this or I'm disappointed in that you don't see this or don't give me this or things like that. And
Yeah,
then some,
that reminds me of one of my teachers. At the end of a retreat, like a vipassana, like in
yeah,
silence, he said so beautifully. He said, Maybe you feel enlightened now because you were silent. You did all this soul searching. You got all the time in the world to sit against a tree and start talking with this tree and get all
yes.
this magical, beautiful steps inside of your inner world. And then he said it so beautiful. He said, if you think you're enlightened now after this like beautiful retreat, go and visit your family.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, by the way, one of the beautiful guys that I have the privilege to have a journey with together. He is from Los Angeles, and he
Yes.
was in our community call last Tuesday,
Hmm.
and he was shopping for this American.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so a lot of people are getting into this training ground
Uh-huh.
because that's today, I think, Thanksgiving.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh, they already got their training time. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, just a little intermezzo. Yeah. So
No,
family
yeah,
is
so
one of
it's
your
true.
buttons.
So
Yeah.
no. So for sure, family is one of the best trainers, training grounds. So seriously, I also always honor the people that are my best trainers
Oh.
because it's also for them. It's not easy because the more practice they give me, the more it works to not take it personal. So
Mm.
it becomes a harder job for them. So it is really amazing that they want to be the trainers in this life.
That's, by the way, a beautiful way of looking at it.
Yes.
Wow. That's very helpful if you can change your perspective on people that are like you thought they are teasing you, they are cruel to you, they are doing it on purpose to to make you feel miserable, and then change this view into, okay, thank you, you're a great teacher for me. Wow,
Yes.
beautiful.
And it's always your choice if you want to put a label on it that you feel miserable or that people hurt you or people whatever do something bad to you because then we are again back to labels that things are bad or good or wrong or
Yeah.
evil or I don't know what.
Yeah, maybe that's why the training not to take things personal. By the way, don't take me wrong.
Yes.
It's not my goal to don't take anything personal, but to have a choice if I want to take something personal. And
Yes.
this really to say yes, I take this personal, or no, I don't take this personal,
Hmm.
gives me the freedom to bring my energy to places where my whole system knows where to go, instead of only my mind is freaking out and everything
Yes.
is distorted.
Yes.
So again, please get me right. Like it's totally okay to make something personal, like my beautiful wife or my beautiful car or my beautiful powerful, filled up with magical wand.
This one?
Yeah. Like you have your beautiful wand. It's
Yes.
okay to call it my wand, you know, as long as you have the choice. If you can give it away, or if you know it has to be passed to someone else, you can give it
Yes.
away instead of saying, no, that's mine. Because how did you get it?
From you.
It's mine. It's mine. And
No,
now
it's
it's yours.
ours. It's only physically with me right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Well, let's postpone this one to the
To the
next
next.
podcast that we
Yes.
change me and I into we. But yeah, that's all about co-creation and stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, making it personal is also connected to a deeper choice about, are we living in a world that is punishing you and getting you and trying to eat you, or are we living in a universe that's friendly? What do you think?
Yeah. We're living in a universe that's friendly.
What? What about all these wars? What about all these unsafety places? What about cruelty? What about child
Yes.
misuse? What? Ah, you're saying we're living in a
Your,
beautiful.
your mind is freaking out,
Please
I see.
explain. Please explain.
Because your mind is freaking out.
Mm,
But it's also, isn't there a famous line like if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change or
thank you,
something?
Wayne Dyer. Yeah,
Ah, Wayne Dyer,
yeah.
yes. Um, so yes, we live in a friendly universe, and to maybe make it a little bit smaller before stepping into the world of wars and whatever. Um, when you said before to take nothing personal with people that say, for example, I don't know, you're an idiot or a fraud or I don't know what.
Hmm.
What I also really experience, and that it goes together with the friendly universe, is that when you don't take it personal,
Hmm.
and by the way, another comment, it's not because sometimes people say, oh, but then you get a very shallow life, or it's very arrogant, for
Hmm.
example,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
you think, oh, boo, it's never about me. But
Hmm.
it's not like that. It's actually the opposite. And when you don't take it personal, you have a lot of space and freedom to really observe. There we have again the observer.
Yeah.
So when people, for example, say you're an idiot or something like that, and you don't take it personal, there is no trigger in you, so you can keep
Yeah.
your eyes clear and you see what's going on inside them.
Yeah.
And instead of responding to them, and but normally goes like, ah, but I'm not an idiot. Da, 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 da." So you start fighting.
Hmm.
It brings nothing to anybody because the other person expects that you respond like this. So it's another story that
Yeah.
always goes like this.
Yeah.
And it's again the universe that maybe, we're all fighting each other. But when you keep it clear and don't take it personal and you see what's inside them, you can respond completely different.
Beautiful.
And you can, for example, say something like, whoa, whoa, I feel a lot of anger in your words. Where do you feel this?
Hmm.
In your body. Whoa. And then you also give a lot of freedom of the choice for taking that as freedom
Hmm.
to the other person in this case.
Yeah.
Because when you respond differently and not violent and not defending and everything, then the frequency change.
Yeah.
So also the not friendly universe, you can change it into a friendly universe because you don't attack. You just observe that there is some pain inside somebody else, and
Mm.
you help them to, if they want, if they choose to step into that feeling, to step
Very
through that
important.
portal,
Yeah. Yeah.
you help them
Yeah.
to say, okay, take my hand, we can go together.
Hmm.
So that is a very like practical example in the friendly universe.
Yeah. It reminds me to something I still practice. I still do, but it's kind of normal now for me. But I had to
Mhm.
practice it a lot in the realm of not taking it personally when
Yes,
somebody gets angry with you,
yes,
because this keep the peace, right? I'm a Dutch guy, so please act normal. and don't get people mad about you. Don't create a situation where people get into a fight. And so I was always feeling those things and then avoiding it and changing myself and trying to manipulate the situation that nobody got angry.
Yes.
But then I thought, taking a lot of those things personally, and somebody says, "I don't believe you," or "That's stupid," or "What you're saying is totally bullshit." I immediately try to solve the situation.
Yes.
But I took it so personally. And then I learned a few words. So here it comes. And somebody says, "Oh, what you're saying is bullshit. You're an asshole." Then I said, "Thank you." And this really doesn't solve the situation. It makes it even more personal because the other person says, "You don't hear me. What about thank you? You are an asshole." And then I say, "Well done." Well, if there is fire in the other person, here you get like the full volcano eruption, right?
Yes.
And then I said, when this volcano eruption comes, because in those stages also people walk away, but if people stay, I say, "Come to me. Please, bring it all here." And I have to stay in this realm of not taking it personally, otherwise I cannot say those words. So here's a big secret. Please keep it for yourself if you're training this. Don't explain this to anyone. This is like a real magical trick that you don't tell to other people, especially not in a podcast. Here it comes.
Yeah.
The first one, thank you, is about thank you, my beautiful self, to not taking this personally. And then, boom, the other party, your teacher, tries it again. And then you say, "Well done. Well done." You're still in the middle. You're still in this neutral space. And when you're able to survive thank you and to survive well done, you're in this powerful space and you can receive literally everything. So then you can say, "Give it all to me."
Yes.
And it's just energy. And I learned to fuel myself with all these different kinds of energies. Yeah, wow, that reminds me this
Because
conversation
you can
about
also, transform them.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's not, again, a bad energy or a violent energy. It's
Energy.
what you want it to be.
Yeah. And again, it takes a lot of practice. So don't get me wrong. Sometimes I get fully triggered, and you see somebody falling off the track, and I'm just as human as you are.
Oh, yes.
But it's a nice training, and I also referred it last time. But I'm so proud of what I'm doing together with my son. This every morning ritual that we have, going deep into those things. And what I learned from him is it's not about falling off the track. It's getting back more fast. And that's true
Yes.
because in the past I could get off track for years. And then I could get off track for months and then for weeks and then for days. And now it's mostly a few hours.
Yes.
I'm training to get it back to minutes and seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. And training this is a delight, especially when I do it together with someone else. And wow,
Yes.
how wonderful and delightful and God-given it is to do that together with my son. It's yeah, he calls it resilience. So
Resilience.
yeah, beautiful word.
Yes, and I totally agree. It's it goes faster, and it's also not that faster is better, but I could also be. I had so many fights in this life, with all kind of different beings and persons and
Oh, you
whatever.
didn't have this easy life, like being always this golden dragon and go with the flow and everything is given to you and
No, like I was in my baby bed and no.
no. All right.
No, a lot of training, a lot of
Uh,
training. But it goes somehow faster.
Yeah.
also I could be off track, as we call it, for days, weeks. And now it's just hours mostly, and sometimes even when it's really intense, it's hours, and otherwise it's maybe minutes. And then I start smiling and I think,
Hmm.
ah, another one. Thank you for the practice.
Yeah.
Um, yes, and it makes life so much more effortless
Yeah.
because all the fighting and all the responding to everything is taking so much energy. It's so
Yeah.
draining.
Yeah, but still, a lot of people say, "I like to fight. I built my company by this, by
Yes.
winning these wars."
Yes. And I know because I have a lot of those conversations.
Mhm.
And I always feel that it's a program. And I always think about the movies, The Matrix, that are very old by now, but that was literally about programming.
Mhm.
And also, this is a program. We are programmed by our parents, by society, by school. Everybody is the normal way of being here on this planet.
True.
But it's a program that we think we should fight and we should work, I don't know, until we die or work 80 hours a week or all that kind of things. But we have a choice to reprogram whatever
Yeah,
we want. And again, you cannot do that alone because it's simple. Then you keep walking in loops.
true,
Um,
true.
and we said last time it's a spiral, and it is, but you can only go there together. But you can really reprogram everything. And also, even, with, how scientific, with new
Mhm. Yeah,
neurological
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pathways. And
Neuroplasticity. Yeah, it's
yes, so
built
it's
on the
not.
ground.
It's really in your body, it's very
Hmm.
grounded, very here. It's truly possible.
Wow. Yeah, it reminds me of one of my teachers a long time ago. He he told me a story about the $1 million cake.
Oh,
Like
tell
like
me.
yeah, it really opened my eyes because I was fighting for so long. I was this business guy and had these lawyers around me, and there was a lot of money involved, and oh, and then he was teaching me about effortlessly, like building a business effortlessly. And I
Yes.
was really like freaking out. No, you have to fight and you need lawyers and you have to protect yourself. You need good contracts. You cannot,
Yes.
let's not go there. And he said, well, that's just a program. But your program is your $1 million cake. I said, well, explain. He said, well, it's very simple. Like, did you ever forget someone's birthday when you went to them? I said, yeah. Well, then you're in your car. It was an American guy, so they're always in the car.
Yes.
And
Sure.
and you're on your way to a friend, and while you're going there, you're like, oh shit, I forgot his birthday. And then you stop at the bakery and you buy a cake, and you say,
Hmm.
hey, your happy birthday. This is the cake, and it's a chocolate cake. And this guy takes his cake and he looks at you and he says, I don't like chocolate. What an awful birthday cake. Then you say, well, okay, I learned from it. I almost forgot his birthday. There's nothing special. That's okay. But imagine when you spend $1 million
Hmm.
preparing for someone's birthday present, and you spend energy and time and a lot of money. For years, you're building this special birthday present, and you bring it to this person, and you've put everything in it, your heart and soul, everything. And then the other person says, hmm, that's an awful present. I really don't like it. Then you freak out. And that's the same thing with people who are fighting for a long time for their relationship, for love, for recognition, for being worth it, for a business,
Hmm.
where you are fighting for decades to build your
Yes.
business. And you have to step into the realm or the thought or the choice to do things effortlessly, you have to
Yes.
burn your $1 million cake. And that's I think a very important reason why people are very successful according to the rules of what they call the world, like
Yes.
status and money and business and a lot of people in your company and blah blah blah. They have difficulties to get our words and the words you just used because they have to burn their $1 million cake. And you cannot burn your $1 million cake. Believe me, you cannot burn your $1 million cake without help.
No, no, for
You
sure
will
not.
start to defend it. You will even say, no, but I like to fight. While your whole system is telling you for years,
Yes.
because you have inflammation, you got problems with your heart, your blood is not in the right thing. You have headaches, you're tired, your eyes are burning, you don't pee as much. It's, yeah, your whole system is telling you, please don't fight.
Yes.
So where do these words come from that I get often? Like, no, 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 but I like to fight.
Well, it's also to hold on to because it's familiar. It's
Yeah, it's
what we
yeah,
know.
yeah, and you invested in it.
Yes. And also we're kind of connected to the idea that we should suffer
Yep.
in life. You know, you cannot be or build or create without suffering.
Blood,
Um,
sweat, and tears, my lord.
so it's all in that.
Yeah.
And um, and also when you would stop fighting, I also experienced that exactly, oh, well, more or less 1 year ago, which was a very intense process also. Um, then there comes so much new space, so much that literally in the beginning I was very uncomfortable with the peace that arrived. I thought, wait, wait, this is not possible. I have to do something. I have to move. I have to. So I became restless from the rest, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people. Yeah,
Yes, and that's also another thing that, well, when you step into it, because it's another portal, everything transforms, and you really start. I even breathe out. You need to start
yeah,
breathing,
yeah,
breathing out, because we also used to keep everything, breathe in and then stop.
yeah.
Um, so that's also something you have to, when you burn the cake, you step into a realm where things are so flexible, fluid, that you really don't have to do so much. Again, you're the human being and not the human doing.
True,
Yeah,
true,
but that's scary because
true.
if you keep fighting or building everything with force, then you know how that world works.
Exactly.
But we have options
Mm.
if you have the guts to
Yeah, and
to
these
choose them.
I agree, and these options are a lot of options because when you create this space, when you have the guts and I think you really have to bring like courage to
Yes,
to to encounter the the things that are withholding you and letting them die or burn or just give it a name. We touched it in several metaphors now. Then this space also allows you to visit all the other realms and go through these gates. And if you're used to dying, that the piece of you die, which is very normal. Look at nature.
yes,
Everything that dies gives birth to something else. It's a cycle. It's a spiral. It's a never-ending journey. And when you allow the things to flow and to get rebirthed, you really can explore the inner world. And then we're back to the beginning. Because in this inner world, yeah, dragons exist. You can visit them, you can talk to them, they teach you, they bring you so much ground. And yeah, some people say, yeah, it's a little bit spiritual and you're floating. Well, these granite rocks, rocks here and this beautiful crystal dragon living inside of it. It's grounding me. So the opposite of floating. It brings me out of my mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, wow, into my system. Wow, I feel a full circle.
And maybe one to add is the friendly and the not friendly universe.
Mm.
Because how do you see that?
Well, it's exactly where we are now. That when you have the courage to let things go that don't serve you, and and
Mhm.
and everybody knows deep down, everybody knows the things that are not serving them. They have a lot of reasons to keep doing it or keep it alive, and they know deep down it's not serving them. It's not it's not fueling them. It's not empowering them. So when you start to understand that you have a choice to let those things go with
Mm.
help,
Yes.
don't do this alone. Don't do this alone at home. Then and you become good at it, and you get all these presents like you shared in your story on the mountain. Like that, it's a beautiful experience instead of a traumatic experience. Then a whole new, I call it, inner world opens, and it's friendly. It's
Yes.
it's there to to make exactly the things possible that are needed on your journey. And that's I changed my the front of my phone. Ah, it's 11:11.
Of course
Wow,
it is. Yes.
gorgeous. Just to
In
remind me
German.
every time when I take my phone, it says I'm always here. I'm always where I need to be. My life is unfolding. Oh, my life is unfolding in divine time. I do not force, I flow. I
Yes.
know that what is for me will come easily. And that's what you meant with you, you don't have to fight me. And I trust that I am always being guided to my highest good. And it's nice to have it
You
on
see
my
it all
phone.
the time.
Yeah,
Yes.
it reminds me of this beautiful, empowering inner world. And my mantra for a long time is, am I going to fight it or am I going
Yes.
to use it?
Yes.
And lots of times, because this is a never ending story, I don't know how to use it. And I observe that I'm fighting it. Like the roof where I'm here now is leaking. And
Yes.
then I start like, why is it? I'm starting to fight it. So I'm unable to use it. And that's why I also need other people, because somebody else has to teach
Yes.
me, guide me how I can use it.
Yes.
And those people arrive. They, lots of times they're already around you.
Yes.
So that's my explanation of of a beautiful, empowering world.
And because you asked me about the wars and all the bad things,
Mm.
because that happen, but they will also, if we change like in on a global scale, our frequency in because it's the best word to say. I don't know a better
Yeah,
word than frequency.
yeah,
If we change it into the friendly one, the things will disappear.
exactly. The Earth is slow, and
Yeah.
energy work and magic is like almost in the moment,
Instant. Yes.
instantly. So a lot of people in the world are changing their inner world. And as long as there's war in somebody's inner world, as long, let's just take my inner world. As long as there is war inside of me,
Yes.
there will be war out there. And
Yes.
it's not my responsibility. It's not that I have to carry this responsibility that I'm the one who's creating war. No, it creates an opening for me,
Mm-hmm.
this truth, which I chose to take in,
Yes.
that my work is to bring peace inside of my system. and
Yes.
everything around me. Oh, you can visit your family. You can always also start an experiment with living in a community like we do here. That's also a very good one to get directed to the inner wars, and then transform them with all the help of the dragons and the power animals and the guides, and give me all those beautiful names of all the helpers around us. Yeah, yeah. That's my choice of looking at it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So nice to have these conversations and use these words. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for creating this space together.
Well, thank you too for the same. It's also magic. You know, some people ask me, "Well, were you scared or was it scary to record the first podcast?" And I said, "Well, you know, before I had some moments I thought, oh, what are we going to do? We don't know how to do this."
Mm-hmm.
But from the moment we put recording, it flows, and I don't even think it's just
Yeah,
speaking and sharing, um, creating together what we will address the next time from I to we or
yeah,
a next time.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
That's so good.
really, yes, and it's also proof that you know that you can always follow heart and feeling,
Yeah.
and then the things will happen that have to happen.
Mm.
So thank you too.
So, what's your definition of love?
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, I was yesterday on my bike here on the island. This question crossed my mind, and it reminded me of a book I read in your and Juliet's house, which is called Urban Shaman, and it's about a lot of things, including seven Hawaiian shamanic principles.
Yeah, beautiful map.
Yes, and the fifth one is aloha, which means to love, is to be
Mm,
happy with.
mm,
And besides that, we are love and everything we talked about it the previous time. It's also for me definition of love is to be happy with. Like it's all good. There is no fighting. It's
mm.
just a being, a state of being, and happy. If you are being, you are happy because there is no fighting, no nothing, no triggers.
Wow.
And it's also a book I can recommend, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Read.
Me too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you get your question back. What is awareness to you?
Mm. Space. And I'm more and more discovering that the space to allow awareness, I think awareness is. You don't have to create it, you don't have to find it, you don't have to cultivate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think awareness grows when there is space for awareness. And last week we finalized a lot of projects here, and there was one day and I was like, get off my back. I don't want to explain anything. I just do it on my own. Everyone who's trying to help me don't understand how you have to do this. It had to do with a little extra house that we are building, and it needed like electricity and internet, and it's 100 meters away, and I had to create these pipeline to put these things through. But where do you put it, and how do you get it in, and what's the direction, and is it long enough, and how do you connect them? It was raining. It was cold. I didn't, I couldn't eat. So everyone was like, yeah, lunch is ready. Are you going for lunch? I said, no, I'm going to finish this. Now I'm getting the drift. And it was just a full day without space, without awareness. Not a bad day. I kind of have to smile when I think back on it. And I got a lot of things done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got a lot of things done. I skipped my morning meditation. I skipped my morning practice with my son. I did it later that day, by the way, because if we don't do it one day, we're out. That's the rule.
Yes.
Very easy. And we're doing this for months now. Um, and there was no space for awareness. And yesterday, there was a lot of space. And it ended in a beautiful, deep conversation around the fireplace. Like a really healing, deep conversation with the whole group. Yeah, that it's space, and then awareness just pops up and does its magic.
Yes. Thank you. I really feel this one.
Mm.
So I guess it's time to wrap up.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the button. Let's make
Yes.
this one easy.
Thanks to our audience again, and we'll be back.
We'll be back.